Okay. Have you guys ever heard of the overnight success? Yep, probably a lot of you have. Have you ever heard of the overnight success lie? Have I or have I not? Well, today we're going to talk about the overnight success lie that nobody stinking talks about, by the way. And I really don't know why, because it leads people down a bad path when they're like, oh my gosh, I have this product idea, this company idea, this thing idea, this widget, and I'm going to take it to the market. People are going to love me. That's what you think, right? And then you see this said product, just all of a sudden come out of nowhere. And you're like, how in the heck did that get there? Because somebody sat on it for 10 years. Let's go over some of those things that you are going to go through if you're going to bring, and you actually not bring something to market. If you're going to be an overnight success, here are your 10 rules. And these are the things that you are going to need to keep in the back of your mind. So let's get started here. The invisible foundation, discussing the years spent spent working, zero audience, zero feedback. One of my favorite ones is Gary Vee when it comes to talking about this, when he was talking about stuff in Wine Library. Dude, he started doing YouTube videos when you think it's hard now to do YouTube videos? Please, VHS in the basement, talking about wine, uploading it manually. And then I don't know what the heck he did it for edits, but I mean, he admits that he sat down in his basement for months, not getting any kind of reviews and interactions, zero audience, right? Just a young dude sitting in the basement talking to himself on camera. That is the foundation that's going to build you, because they're going to think about ways how to get out of that basement, based upon the story we just talked about. The second one is going to be the skill stacking phase. How every failure actually is a rehearsal for your big moment. I was doing some coding and some other stuff the other day, and I was getting so stinking frustrated because I could not figure it out. And I was failing. I was failing. I was failing. I was failing. I wanted to throw my computer through the dang wall. But then I got a little bit of a win. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is what it feels like to push through and really go for it. That was one of my skill stack. That's in my skill stacking phase. I'm stacking how to learn how to work with AI, more effectively and efficiently, how to stack things on top of each other, different workflows, different products, different services. So the products come out looking better, cleaner, faster. But oh my baby Moses, that I put my head through a wall trying to figure that out. So I want you to think in your mind, what is that thing that you're going to change tomorrow in your mind going, well, this sucks? No, this is a rehearsal for your big success moment. Let's talk about the gap period, navigating the time between when you start and when your work actually is good. Now, actually good, I mean, what does that really mean? Right? Is it working? Is it functional? Are you making a profit in the business? Is your product selling? Is your service, getting people getting their attention? What's that? How long is that gap? It can be a long time, and it can be disheartening. Oh my, it can be bone crushing. It can be demoralizing. It can be dragging your dead carcass of a body across razor blades into a lemonade pool, spa, pond, whatever, lemon juice. A lot of pain. That's what it can feel like, navigating through that, because you're like, nobody likes me, nobody's watching me. I don't see what I'm building here. I'm just failing. But you have to understand that's the gap time. That's the gap period. That's where the growth is going to really take place. Because once you start seeing it grow, it's going to be watching like a flower coming out of the ground. You're like, oh my gosh, all that work was worth it. Don't stop. Here's one of my favorite ones. The next one is the micro pivots. I love the micro pivots. I just learned one today on how to do some editing, and it's so cool. So what is a micro pivot, right? What does it really do? How to decide on small changes that eventually looks like one big giant leap. So the old adage of how do you eat a elephant, right? Well, it's one bite at a time, not the elephant. That's not going to ever work. And I learned that. I tried that with Claude the other day, throwing way too much kashmush at him. And that's where I really went wrong, because I was going banana sauce in my brain. He was going banana cakes in the computer. We weren't on the same page. Then I said, okay, we're going to slow this bus down. What we're going to do is we're going to take small, bite-sized, incrementable, trackable things and do micro pivots. So I literally got rid of 90% of what we had created together. I'd spent over a month building. No, I lied. It's not a month. It's like 2 or 3 weeks. But it's a lot of time for me, right? And I was learning, but that goes to my skill stacking phase. I was building that. So can you? So keep this in mind. These all works together, okay? This all really stacks together. Anyways, bad jokes. So the micro pivots that are making now, or I'm seeing exponential growth because I'm seeing instant gratification in each small, tiny move and pivot. So then as this is kind of shaping up, actually, when I was prepping for this video, I was looking at my headers tabs here, and I'm like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. There's my sequence. There's my line. I solved the problem. And it's because I did micro pivots. Think about that in your brain. What is your micro pivot, guys? Or what are your micro pivots? We'll put an S on the end of it. Let's go survivor bias. Survivor bias. Let me rephrase that. Acknowledging that we only hear about the people who stayed on and stayed in the game for 10 years. Are you, I guess that's really the question. Are you willing to stay in the game for 10 years? Are you willing to have the survivor bias? I mean, yeah, we only hear about like Elon Musk's, Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, Facebook, Twitter. I mean, all these guys and gals, right? And there's a lot of young ladies out there that are doing incredibly well, just like the dudes. But are you going to have that bias? Are you going to have the ability to be heard about in the future? Do you have that you're going to withstand the hard times so you can be acknowledged after you put the blood, sweat, and tears in? You really have to ask yourself then. You have to put that little question, why? What is that? Why? It's not like, I love people. No, forget about that. Why? Why are you showing up? Is it kids, grandkids, yourself, your spouse, your parents, your dog, your neighborhood, your community, your church? Why are you doing this? That will get you out of bed on those days when you're going like, I don't care what time it is. It's too early. That will get you butt up. Do it. Otherwise, you're not going to make it. I'll be real honest with you. Here it is. Compound interest of hobbies. Why 3,000 hours of practice matters more than the first. Oh my gosh. So when it comes to any of you guys that know me, I started my real estate career of 26, almost 27 years now, doing door knocking. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I went out there and I went 100 times a day. I don't care if it was 100 degrees or 2 degrees. I was out there door knocking. The first time out door knocking, cold calling, prospecting, working with clients, any of that stuff, I sucked at it. And I thought it was going to be great. I watched movies and TV shows. I was around my father and my team, and all these people are closing big deals, running with big dogs in our neighborhoods and stuff like that. And I still couldn't, I just couldn't wrap my brain around it. I didn't have context, right? Well, after 26 years of business and over 1 million cold calls and nearly about 1 million door knocks, I haven't really counted them all out, but I can. It's like breathing. So those 3,000 hours, or that 5,000 hours, or whatever the number is that you want to put to it, they are critical for you to then lean back and throw back the sand to show people the path so they don't have to trip and fall on their face just as much as you did. So you have to put the compound effect into action. It's not that every hour is going to be the best hour, but it is a teachable opportunity where you can go and become better than you were before you went and tried it again. So kind of think about it that way, no matter what the outcome is. Oh, the worst. Not the compound. We just went over that one. What am I talking about? The next one is the boring middle. Dealing with the lack of motivation once the initial excitement wears off. Oh my gosh, that happens to everybody. I mean, you're into it. You're like, yeah, we're going to take over the world. Everyone's going to buy this. We're going to be trillionaires. We're going to live on our own island. We're going to have our own planet. This is going to be awesome. Now, the boring middle is where your motivation is at flatline, DOA, not coming back, 6 feet under, carried by 6. Huh? Right? Nah. The boring part is the awesome part. Now, you're sitting there going like, what the heck are you talking about, McDaniel? It's very simple. It's this way. Once you get bored, it gives you creativity to start flowing in. So maybe you're bored because it's not tweaked right or it's not doing something right. Great. Revamp it, tear it apart, put it back together, see what's in there, keep the good, throw the bad out. The boring equals momentum. This is me speaking from my experiences, Because all of a sudden, if you think about something hard enough and you put enough energy and thought into it, all of a sudden things starts coming alive and you're like, oh, I could put this with that and move there, move this over here. And what if we just went around everything? Huh. We got something valuable to take to the market. That's in the middle. And don't fret about it. If you're having a bad day in the boring middle, go for a walk. Go take your kids, your wife, your husband, your partner, your dog, your goldfish, your blue jay, whatever you have at your house. Go for a walk. Go do something fun in your life. Anything, right? Just don't don't disregard the boring middle. All right, let's take on to our next one, the threshold moments. This is the specific point where the trajectory shifts or shifted from linear to exponential, aka the hockey stick, right? The threshold moments. You're like, we're pushing. Bow, hockey stick takes off. Views on YouTube videos, client interactions and reactions, social media posts that get people to contact you, throw in events that people show up to, creating great looking photos, getting your listing presentation dialed in, getting your sales pitch for whatever industry you're in dialed in, and you see the return of the efforts you put in because you got over the boring middle. That is a night. If you drink or do anything, whatever your flavor is, right? Go do it that night. Go celebrate that. Now, I'm not saying get crazy, but celebrate it. You put some serious work in. Okay, that's nothing to laugh at. We got two more guys, and then we're going to get the heck out of here. Now we're going to do the financial versus creative debt. Excuse me, did you just say financial versus creative debt? What do you speak of, McDaniel? It's basically the struggle of funding the dream until the dream funds you. I have been on many roller coasters on this one, and the financials, when it really comes down to it, and Tony Robbins says this very well, and it's so freaking true. You know what? When you need money, nobody wants to lend it to you, but when you have the product, everybody wants to give you anything you could ever wanted. And that is something you have to understand. You're going to have to bare knuckle fight this shit in the alleyway at a crummy bar in the middle of nowhere, USA, to get to that stage, to get to that podium, to get to that success, to get to that whatever you're trying to achieve. You're going to have to get weird, and you're going to have to know going in that this is the deal. Nobody's going to want to give you any money because they don't know you, don't like you, don't trust you for the most part, friends and family excluded. Obviously, there's outliers, but once there's a viable product, everybody will show up. But then you have to have the discernment if you're going to work with these people or not, because they weren't there to help you when you needed their help. They were there to help themselves after you've done the labor. Your choice. I have my opinion. You guys put it in the comments below and let me know what you would do if you were in that situation. Here's our last one for the day. Identity shift. I love this one, the identity shift. I've heard it so many times today in different conversations. And it's not the product that you really want to look at the end of the day. It's really, who did you become during those 10 years of trial, ups and downs, the heat being turned off, electricity not quite working, you're in a crummy location, you're not getting any followers, your spouse, your friends, your family, people around you, your coworkers are talking smack about you, saying, "Oh, Bob, you got to let this go, man. It's not ever going to work." And you're like, "No, I got this, man. I believe in this. I absolutely know what I'm doing." Then you get that one person. And the old saying, the Bible goes, iron sharpens iron, right? Same exact thing. Two great minds come together and both become stronger, both become sharper, both become better tools at their own endeavors. And once you find it, and you realize that you've gone through a metamorphosis from where you started to where you are purely through grit and grind that nobody was able to do before you. Now, why do I say that? Because no one's done it like you. You're a unique creature in every aspect of life. Never misunderstand that. No one's as tall as you, short as you, the way your body is, the hair color, your personality traits, your fingernails, your everything. It's all you. You did this. You have shifted your identity from I think I could, might one day, not quite sure, we'll give it a run, yay, go team, to I'm going to make this my bitch, and there's nothing that's going to stop me. That's the identity shift. And then once you get that encouragement, you can go do it again and again and again and again. The last little phrase and thought pattern is that the hardest thing ever is to make $1 million. The easiest thing in life is to make $1 million again because you have the blueprint. All right, guys, that is it. That's what I'm talking about. Think about this when you guys are going to go out there and you're like, oh my God, that guy's an overnight success. Or that chick's an overnight success. Have them watch the video. They're going to be like, yep, checked all those boxes. So get ready to have some fun. Get creative. Get weird. Enjoy the build up to that big day where you get to show the world what you did. Don't talk about it. Work. Your success is your proof. All right, guys, I love you. Have a great day. Bye.